Okay, Lenny Ravich, thank you
Yes.
very much
My pleasure.
for this interview.
Yes.
Just a very, very short presentation. You have been for many years director of the Gestalt Institute, and then you have found Joy Care Leadership, and you are promoting a positive leadership. Humor is something very important in your life. Actually, I was having a look at your LinkedIn introduction, and you talk very much about the function of humor. Can you say something about the function of humor in life and in leadership? What I understand with leadership is something that the other recognize you. It's not the power, it's not the medals. Leadership is the fact that the others see you and recognize you as an example, as someone that is good to follow, as take an example. In this sense, does humor has a role?
Yes, definitely. Because as you said, the role of a leader is to be someone that others can follow and feel comfortable in opening up and being honest and authentic, and hearing the truth and being sincere. And people feel more comfortable around a person who is vulnerable, shows their vulnerability. Now, when I talk about humor and a leader, it's the ability to make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
The ability to laugh at yourself, because you're spreading the word. I'm not taking myself too seriously. I'm as human as everybody else. I'm going to make my mistakes. What do I do with them? I could sing them, I could dance them, I could joke them, I could take them seriously, I could make myself sick with them. I could take them to bed with me, I could take them home with me and destroy my relationship with my family, or I could just laugh at myself. And this is one of the most powerful tools of a leader, because it is resilience. Okay? It's the ability to bounce back after a trauma. So when you ask me what is the role in humor as a leader, I think the role of humor as a father, as a husband, as a wife, as a mother, as a nurse, as a doctor, as a coal miner, as a waiter, as a servant, it is probably one of the most important elements in our lives, because it keeps us healthy. See, when we get too involved with life, you really start taking it seriously, and you take yourself seriously. This causes stress-related illnesses.
Yeah.
We have a chemical in our body called cortisol, and the same reaction when the boss says, "Come in here, I want to talk to you." The reaction of the body is the same thing as a saber-toothed tiger suddenly coming out of a tree or something at us. There's this adrenaline rush, the cortisol and everything else. And so we're living in some people living in constant anxiety, and constant depression, constant pressure, stress. And so when you say to me, is it important? It is such an important element. I mean, it's like saying, is health important? And humor is health. It's leading a life, a leader who is positive, and not only has a influence on the place that they work, because they come in with energy. Everywhere you go, you carry your energy with you. When you walk into a room, people feel you right away. They can feel you 3, 4, 5, 10 feet away. That's why people say that the first impression is the one that lasts. They tell kids who are learning to become speakers that first 10 seconds on stage, are the most important, because that's when the energy is there. The audience is either connecting with you or turning off. So when a leader comes in to a place and projects all that positivity, he is actually, or she is actually, teaching other people to live longer and to live stronger. You will live longer, you will live stronger. Your health will be better, you'll have more joy coming to work with a leader, male or female, that you know that you can be vulnerable with because they've been vulnerable with you. I call this intimacy. And my interpretation of intimacy is into me see. And if a leader can do that, into me see, I don't care what you see, I'm not afraid. And you can see the dark side. My wife sees my dark side. She's the only one I show it to. The other people, I'm smiling, and she even says to me, if other people could see you the way I see you, they would never buy your books. And the leader who can say, I want you to see that. I want you to see all of me and accept or reject or do whatever you want with it. Then the people around that leader will trust. You remember we went to a workshop and talked about the value of trust, which is the basis of all relationships. And I think humor gives you that. I'm not talking about humor that you're using to deflect or run away from something. I used to do that when I was growing up. If I didn't want to face my father's anger or somebody else's fear or something, I would tell a joke, or I would joke about it, which is not the proper humor. That's humor that's not responsible. You know, my humor today, I've changed and I'm more present. I can be present, because when you're joking just to joke, just to get out of a situation, you're not actually present. And I remember what Dr. Bernie Siegel once told me when I was at a workshop with him. He said, the most important thing I've ever done is to be present when somebody needed me. All they need is my presence. And humor does that. Humor, actually, if you're using it in a way to connect and not to disconnect, it can build a bridge, a marvelous, marvelous tool for communication. I just came back from a meeting now to call you. I told you I had a meeting, and it was enjoyable on both sides. We discussed very, very serious things about a course that this gentleman wants to present in front of hundreds of thousands of people. And we were both laughing, and we both made fun of ourselves, and you know, and it was a lovely, lovely conversation. It's a great communication tool. So when you say, is humor important for the leader, it is important for life, but especially if we're talking about a leader, a teacher, a mentor, a guide. Yes. And I want you to notice that some of your most or greatest spiritual teachers have a great sense of humor. And if they didn't have that sense of humor, I wouldn't want to listen to them. I'm thinking about it. You go on YouTube and you get some of these people, living or dead, who are considered, you know, to be the spiritual leaders of the world. The Dalai Lama doesn't do anything but laugh and smile.
Yeah.
He could just meet you, you know, and it's a smile, it's a laugh. Somebody asks him a question, he'll laugh. He'll give an answer, he'll laugh. I'm thinking of, I went to a course with Tyagi. He's the Indian teacher who teaches games, how to teach people through games. And marvelous sense of humor. Marvelous sense of humor. And it's so flexible, and it's so resilient, and it's so connecting, and it's so positive. That's why I've made my life of humor. Also, it pays well. You know, we say, be funny, make money. And I told my kids, I said, everything I have, I say, thank you, God, for giving me this great gift. I mean, I could buy a house with it. I could buy a car with it. I could travel to Barcelona with it. You know, I could do anything I want just by being funny. People pay because when I'm funny, they're getting more out of it than they would a year's worth of pills. Because when you're laughing, when you're smiling, when you're feeling good, at work, or anywhere, you're producing endorphins in your brain. And they protect your immune system that makes you stronger. They protect you from getting too involved in things. George Carlin said, people who see life other than pure entertainment are missing the point. You have to train, you train yourself to see everything as entertainment. Especially, let's say, what's going on in the world today. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.